And what Butch Davis is saying right now is we ran another play.
Yes, it may have been in celebration, but Tom, it's the rule.
Well, you can't even remove your helmet on the football field while the ball is still in play. So that's the first mistake.
The Cleveland Browns select Justin Gilbert, defensive back, Oklahoma State. With the 22nd pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Johnny Manziel, quarterback, Texas A&M. The Cleveland Browns select Trent Richardson.
And it's blocked. It is picked up by Will Hill. Will Hill runs down the sideline. Hill's going to get a block. Will Hill is going to win the game.
The ref says, hey, it's Redskins' ball. Duke Johnson's like, wait a second. Duke Johnson, I got the ball.
There you go. Ball rolled back, and there it is.
You are a factory of sadness! I'll see you Sunday.
With the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Baker Mayfield, quarterback, Oklahoma.
And yea, verily, this party is underway, people.
Checked out with his helmet off on that 22-yard run by Taylor. Here's more pressure. Can't bring him down, and now aired out for Callaway. Contact, no flag.
They're unable to pick up the first down, and now you've got Cleveland on their side of the 50.
Jets get home and sack Tyrod Taylor.
Do it all.
They're down at 14. Here's a pass to Callaway, and that does nothing, and this crowd is letting the Browns offense hear it. They're down in 10, and Darnold is sacked. Garrett. And they went nowhere. Here's a handoff to Hyde running right. Nice cutback. And Carlos Hyde out to the 29.
Looks like they're showing it here on 3rd and short.
And a quick pull down and run and dragged to the ground by Darren Lee is Tyrod Taylor. A loss of 6.
Njoku, the tight end.
Here's a punt blocked. It is touched by the Jet. Handoff to Crowell, and he will walk in for the touchdown. It's great. Browns won it by a final of 31-21. Here's one aired out for Callaway, and underthrown.
Oh, yes. What a play.
They're down in 6. Blitz off the edge. And Taylor goes down. The first there was Buster Screen. 45 yards rushing on the drive. Here's a cutback for the touchdown for Crowell. With 5.5 to go in the half. Taylor to the sideline, and what a catch and a reach for a first down. And now Taylor is going to go down. Now we know it will be Baker Mayfield's debut. 45, and the crowd reacts to the emergence of Baker Mayfield off the bench at OU. Heisman Trophy winner, former walk-on, finds Landry. 14 yards and a first down.
Playing up tempo.
Mayfield fires, pass is caught at the 35 by Njoku. In the second half, they just picked up their 4th sack. They come on a blitz, pass is caught. Landry stays up.
Takeaways, and they come away with another one right here. They've been awfully good at forcing fumbles.
Flag on the play. Pass is caught by Landry.
A really good pick in the 4th round.
Here's one. It is caught by Landry to the 1. Sets up 1st and goal from the 1. Hyde trying to take it in, and he does. Touchdown Browns.
It's like pressure off the edge.
Little trick play and a throw to Baker Mayfield to tie the game from Jarvis Landry.
Is that Cleveland? What are we calling that one? Catch. They're putting Claiborne on him. He can't run with Callaway.
Here is Hyde for 10.
Good move, and I think it probably galvanized this locker room.
3rd and 5, pass caught. Johnson, a spin move on the sideline.
Capable of doing as a receiver.
Mayfield, pass behind, but caught by Higgins.
And it's a little different. I agree with that.
Here's one to Callaway out of bounds near the marker.
Callaway.
Mayfield over the middle, pass is caught, big hit. Landry. Handoff, high, touchdown. On 2nd down and 12, Darnold airs it out, downfield, pass is picked by Mitchell. Browns are going to win.
Darnold in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 2 left. The running back is Crowell. 18 seconds left. He's got the snap. Back to pass. Up in the pocket, shooting it long and deep, and it's picked off. They got it. Terrence Mitchell's got it, and it's all over here now. They can't take it away anymore. 11 seconds left to go. Mitchell takes the football. He's going to run it down to the best fans, the most patient fans in the league, right to the dog pound. Up and in he goes.
Of your home fans and get the Browns their first win in 635 days. How you feeling right now? Pretty good about yourself?
I feel good. You know,
I guess so.
You know, we finally put the pieces together a little bit. Yeah. You know, Joe knows more than anybody else around here. This crowd deserved to see that first win at home, and so that's the thing I'm most proud of is we put it together for the fans at home.
Yeah.
Any win feels great. It's hard to do. You know, having success at this level is hard to do. But the best part about it was that we were here at home. You know, you got to feel the energy of the crowd, how badly they wanted it as well. You know, we got to play for each other, but at the same time, this city does deserve it. We got to have that mindset of going to get it no matter what's happening. And so it felt great. Treat it like any other time. Got to go do my job. You know, don't overthink it. You know, live in the moment. At that time, I got to command the offense, got to command the team, got to bring a spark and give us a chance to win. That's my job, and so that was what I was focused on. Kudos to the crowd. It played a big factor late in the game, and so anytime you can get them to, be your 12th man, as cliche as that sounds, it's the truth. So whatever we have to do to fire them up to affect the other offense, that's great. Dilly dilly to the Cleveland fans. Yeah, that's comes with it, but it's not the only win we're going to celebrate. It's a building block for us. Did some good things, but there's still a lot we can work on, and that's the great part about it. We're nowhere near where we want to be, but we're in a good spot right now to build a foundation and keep going.
We got to learn how to handle this too, okay? Because this is what we're going to be doing. I promise you guys that. We fought our asses off, and that's what you have to do to win. This is the National Football League. All that, whatever people say, shit's gonna be easy. It's not easy. This is what it's all about. This is pro football at its finest. You guys are off tomorrow, you off Saturday, and you're off Sunday. So the next time I see you will be Monday.
This is not going to be the last one of these we get, right?
This one right here, stuff happens in games, right? Right. Shit happens, water off a duck's back. This guy's been chomping at the bit to be out there with you guys. He's handled everything the right way. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of Coach Zampese, because Zampese spends a lot of time with this guy. He's busted his ass. Where's Baker Mayfield? I got one more to give away. But we watched him work out earlier today. I was scared to go down there because I didn't know what it was going to look like. but he busted his ass and he came here and fought his ass off today. Where's Jarvis Landry? Understand the grind that it takes to win in the National Football League. It's hard, but we don't want it any other way, okay? We don't want it any other way. You guys are just the men for the job. Keep working, believe in what we're doing, keep getting better. Keep getting a little bit better, guys, every week, and watch what happens.
Sometimes the best laid plans don't work out at all in the NFL, and that can actually be okay because the Browns were supposed to let Baker Mayfield sit for a little while. He was supposed to observe Tyrod Taylor. But then Tyrod Taylor suffers a concussion last night against the Jets, and Baker Mayfield goes into the phone booth, and Superman comes out, leading Cleveland to its first win since 2016, and the Browns fans acted like they had won the Super Bowl. Mayfield was great. And during the draft, we talked a lot about measurables, and with Baker Mayfield, everything you saw at Oklahoma, playing against a good schedule, performing well against quality opponents, it still came back to, he's 6 feet tall. I don't know. Is he another Drew Brees? Is he another Russell Wilson? Well, if you're the Browns, you're saying, we hope so. But then you thought, after watching Sam Darnold first week against Detroit, Cleveland passed up on him. Oh, boy. But what you saw with Baker Mayfield last night is what you saw in college. He can improvise, keep a play alive. He's not afraid. He threw the ball in tight spots. He made plays when he needed to make plays. But congratulations to the Cleveland Browns. They got their win. Everybody gets beer.
What a treat this has been to have Joe Thomas on the set as well with us.
Yeah.
Riding through
What's
this
up,
game.
Joe? What's up, man?
Reggie
What's up,
Bush
Joe?
running up and down the
Got us on
sideline.
tonight.
Michael Irvin was blessing footballs, I feel like, before the game. All of the fans are, almost all of the fans
The fans is
are
lit
so
right
here.
now.
What a night this has been for
fans
the
is
Browns.
lit right now.
A 21-17 win for them. I mean, Joe, I saw you out there celebrating with your old teammates. How does that feel?
This is an unbelievable feeling. Unfortunately, it's been way too long to wait to get this feeling of a victory here in First Energy Stadium for all these fans, for all these coaches and these players that have worked so hard week in and week out, heard about how they weren't good enough, how they couldn't do it. To finally be able to do it here on the biggest stage in pro football is incredible. And to be able to do it with the guy I've been saying all night that they need to put in. I cannot believe, Joe.
You were totally in front of that one.
And we don't mind. We understand the pain that Joe's been going through. Watching young guys come up and come in here and not live up to the billings. But I'll tell you, we talked about this some, it's about a personality too. Did they pick the right guy when they picked Baker Mayfield? I think not only did you get the win, you got to ease your mind that, we got the right guy for Cleveland and Baker Mayfield because you got to see both guys on the field at the same time. What a job. That was a tough situation.
It was.
And Baker Mayfield came in the game and he won the game in that kind of a situation. This crowd has not left. They are so excited.
How about these people right here? They're so excited, man. Look at these fans right now, bro.
Some of the most loyal fans that I've ever seen.
Hey, call him now Baker Money Mayfield. Baker Money Mayfield is what he is.
Hey, let's not undersell how difficult that was. That was very difficult. Being able to come in where he came in at the end of the first half, to be able to move the ball down the field, and then without any practice. Yes. He did not take any practice reps with that one unit.
And
he was running the scout team.
All the blitzes. He hit the right people.
Not to mention, he was taking shots down the field, too. I mean, these weren't, we saw Sam Darnold with a ton of just tiny dink and dunk little passes and stuff. Baker Mayfield was slinging it down the field.
I was impressed by how he handled the blitz because there was a few times where they brought pressure to that side and it didn't even faze him.
Should we pump the brakes?
Pump the brakes? Is this a trick question? We should hit the gas. We should floor it. You heard what with the points that were just made. The Cleveland Browns fans have suffered unlike any other fan. Cleveland cares more about football than anything. They've had LeBron James. They've had the Cleveland Indians who've been a powerhouse recently. And all they want is the Browns to be good. I mean, the dog pound. This franchise left town. The dog pound got them back. It wasn't some artificial. It was a grassroots campaign to get them back. They actually got a franchise called the Cleveland Browns back. And now, for the first time, like practically ever, They have a franchise quarterback. Let's be honest about this. Who didn't know that Baker Mayfield was going to lead a comeback in that game? We all knew it. We all felt it. Admit it. When Baker Mayfield's number was called, you're like, uh-oh, here it goes. And by the way, at the very least, can you admit, whether or not you knew in your gut, he's going to lead them. This is going to be a comeback right here.
It's all over.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Started the chant in my living room.
Admit that at least every time he was on the field, you were compelled to watch. Even the fact that the way he plays is reckless, that it looked like there could have been a career-ending injury possibility on like 3 different plays yesterday, even that makes it more compelling to watch. And by the way, he led that comeback in spite of the fact that Landry and these guys kept dropping passes. Pump the brakes. Cleveland won for the first time in 2 years. The Cleveland Browns have a franchise quarterback who was the #1 pick in the draft. A little guy. Don't draft that guy, #1 dresser. Pump the brakes. Hit the gas on Baker Mayfield.
A star in the NFL is born. I mean, as simple as that. This is a guy who continues what has been a trajectory unlike almost any player in my memory. A walk-on at 2 schools who at his second school, his second to last year, sets the all-time college football efficiency mark. The next year breaks his own mark en route to winning the Heisman. Goes #1 despite being maybe 6 feet tall. And in his first action for a team that hadn't won in a couple years, not only leads them to victory, but they were down 14-0 when he comes into that football game. All of a sudden, passes that were being missed were not only pinpoint accuracy, but high velocity. Candy, we were talking before the show, he's 17 of 23, but 3 of those were perfectly placed balls that were just flatly dropped. I don't think he missed a throw the entire game. This is a Browns team that in the last decade was 1-39 when trailing by double digits at the half. Wow. And they won last night. He infused this team with swagger, and most importantly, he infused this team with skill. And I watched Baker Mayfield, and I said, this is why this guy has exceeded all expectations at every level. He was great last night.
Hugh Jackson's feeling it. The Browns are feeling it. They are 1-1 right now through 3 weeks of the National Football League season.
He tried to deny us the talent.
Your assessment of what you saw from Baker Mayfield last night?
It was. I don't know how you come away with any other takeaway that it was outstanding. I mean, to me, the biggest thing, no fear, no hesitation, trusted his eyes and got the ball out, was working in the middle of the field. You saw anticipation, you saw velocity, you saw accuracy, and the numbers could have been even better. I mean, when you look at some of the drop passes, namely the one to Callaway deep down the field. And more than anything else, Rich, it sounds hokey, but you could feel it. You could feel the energy in the stadium. You could feel the energy with his teammates. It just, he kind of brought everybody up. And that was a lot of the things that were said about him at Oklahoma. You saw a lot of those things come out last night.
So how sustainable for 2018?
Well, he's got things that are going to sustain. I mean, when you can throw the ball that accurately, when you show that type of poise and that kind of no flinch mentality, I think that's something that's gonna maintain. You're gonna see that throughout the year. Now he's gonna have slip ups like any rookie would. He's gonna see coverages that he doesn't recognize. He's gonna make some mistakes. You saw a sack forced fumble last night. You're gonna see some of that.
Well, it's a dropped interception in the end zone as well.
You're gonna see some bumps in the road. But to me, you've got your guy. At least it's one game, but right now, small sample size. I'd be feeling great if you're Cleveland.
Baker Mayfield was everything we thought he was. Yes. In the words of Denny Green, that right there was a special performance, and I'm not going to get overhyped and say these guys are going to run the table. It's a big night. But it's a great night. Congratulations to Cleveland. Like I said, I was there for a cup of coffee, and they deserve it. They deserve to see that. It's been a long time coming, and Baker Mayfield is here, baby.
And as far as Baker, we heard a lot during the build-up, the draft and everything, that Baker's dripping with swag. And, I don't care if he poses with a white tiger and a Bentley or if he wears the headband or any of that stuff. Yeah. For me, that word is when you come into the game in front of your home fans who haven't won in 2 years and your pulse does not bounce.
I was waiting for the other shoe to drop at some point. Here was this meteoric rise. And if you've watched Browns football this season or last season, Kay, something bad is going to happen. But instead of getting down, instead of saying same old Browns, Baker Mayfield found a way. And I would just say this. I've done NFL games, sidelines, all this stuff. When you don't take reps with the number ones during the week, that is a big disadvantage. When you don't take number one reps the entire training camp, the entire preseason, and then the week leading up, that is a huge disadvantage. The fact that he went in there without having ever taken number one reps with this team and did what he did with such precision is unheard of. This is a miraculous win because of how little preparation Baker Mayfield had on the field. I am blown away by how polished he was, considering absolutely no practice time with the guys he was throwing the ball to and the guys that were protecting him. Unbelievable performance.
This game was the entire emotional experience. There was booing, there was crying, there was yelling, and I love that he did keep that calm and that poise amidst what's got to be one of the craziest atmospheres he will ever play in his career. Yeah. A Super Bowl caliber audience screaming and yelling. Did you guys see Collins' hair whipping around?
Yeah, it was nuts.
That was fans yelling.
Yeah.
Their collective breath of the dog pound blowing her hair into an absolute typhoon out there.